Hello, this is Mr. Wyrick, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Lesson 3.2, that's Chapter 3, Lesson number 2, about angles and parallel lines. This is a relatively short amount of information. You'll need to copy the theorems on here that are on page 180 and 181 into your notes. Make sure you get those down. These are going to come back a lot. We're going to be dealing with these for probably the whole rest of the year. So, when we have parallel lines, our railroad tracks are ones that do not cross ever, and we have a good transversal coming across them. What we have is a bunch of sets of angles here. Okay? So, when we are dealing with corresponding angles, all corresponding angles, which would be this one and the one on the next line, or this one here and the one on the next line, or I'll switch colors here. This one, the one on the next line, this one, the one on the next line. Any of those sets of corresponding angles are congruent, and we can use that to help prove other things later on. For now, you're probably going to be proving that these are congruent, and you'll be able to move through that talking about, well, we have this and it's a linear pair, we have this and it's a linear pair, and we know that they're going to come together like that. The alternate interior angles then would be the ones like here on this and here on this one. It's on the interior in between the two parallel lines, and they are on alternate sides, and also this one over here and this one over here. The alternate interior angles are also congruent. It's important to remember not just that all of these things are going to be congruent, but to remember what it looks like. So you may need to draw separate pictures in your notes. The pictures are going to be the quickest reference. Okay, these are alternate interior, these are corresponding. The consecutive interior angles has a difference here, a little combo breaker. They are supplementary. Okay, it has to do with the fact that this angle is congruent to this angle, and these two are a linear pair. So that means if I took this one and substituted in, they would add up to. So on the inside of this is 180 degrees, and these two angles on the same side add up to 180 degrees, which of course would mean that if we had the exterior angles on that side, they would do the exact same thing. We don't have a name for that, or at least you're not going to be dealing with that in this lesson. Then we have our alternate exterior angles. Now you've probably determined by now, okay, we have the vertical angles coming across this thing straight. We have those corresponding angles and then the vertical angles. So you should have been able to pick up by now that these alternate exterior angles are also going to be congruent. Now, they'll do a lot with this as far as like city streets. Here's the railroad tracks and this thing goes flying across it. Here's two targets set up like this, and we'll shoot a bullet through both of them. What's going to happen? What are our angles going to be? What's this and that? Okay? There's not a ton more that's going to be required information-wise for you to work your way through this. So just understand, the corresponding angles are congruent. The alternate interior angles are congruent. The consecutive interior angles are supplementary. They add up to 180. And the alternate exterior angles are congruent. If you have any other questions on this stuff, make sure to come into class and ask those questions. Don't be afraid to speak up. I would love to help you out and help everybody out. We'll see you in class.